Pam is the titular last smoker in America. We live in a time in this play where smoking has become punishable by various laws, including at a certain point jail time, and Pam absolutely cannot kick the habit.
Jimmy, I appreciate your support, but if I smoke this cigarette, I'll go to jail.
The humor in Last Smoker is very arch and over the top, in the same way that a show like Urinetown or a Mel Brooks movie or show would be. Everyone gets kind of raked over the coals at a certain point in time.
It's got great muscle to it. There's some great tunes that we get to just really rock out on. I get to sing like Steve Tyler, you know, from Aerosmith, and I, you know, don't get many chances to do that. So I wanted to grab this opportunity to get to sing like that, and what an amazing, amazing score it is.
You cause more stress than a tumor growing inside.
Phyllis is the next door neighbor, the nosy next door neighbor. She's a social butterfly. She's, you know, that neighbor that you always see in the sitcoms. It's in everybody's business. She also had a problem with nicotine and other substances and used to carry on back in the day with Ernie, and she found Jesus, which is how she quit smoking and all of the other vices that she had, and now her vice is Jesus. Last Smoker in America is what happens when the government has too much control. You have to come see to see what I'm talking about.
Jimmy is looking for someone to be invested in his life. And so he spends so much time trying to find his own identity, where he tries to be a rapper at one point. He goes through he's obsessed with video games. He lives in a world where no one pays any attention to him at all. And so he has to find some kind of acceptance through anything else he can find.
I came up with this idea. I am often drawn to writing about outcasts, and I always feel so sorry for those smokers huddled in the cold outside their office buildings. And I had a good friend who swore she would be the last smoker in America. Interestingly enough, in the history of this project, smokers think the show is about them, and anti-smokers think it's about them. And I'm happy that there is that kind of ambiguity about it, and that both sides find something in the issue.
It's subversive. It's definitely subversive. It's a farce, and on one level it hasn't got a serious bone in its body, but it does have a subversive take on civil liberties, which is kind of cool at the same time. So it's a lot of fun.
It's been a total collaboration with the actors, and what I like to do with this is let everybody kind of really understand the scenes first, really understand their character. Once they really know that and really know their lines, because we're early in rehearsal process still, and going, then we can start collaborating and find out what they're doing, what is the step, what's the phrase, and why they're doing it. And I think that's what's mostly important for Andy and I is why are people doing what they're doing. And then there are, of course, you know, more random kind of entertainment moments where people are just dancing for the sake of dance.
I know you're upset.
What I've always loved about this piece is that people who are diehard smokers or diehard anti-smokers think that it's written for them. And I think that this piece has so much to say about the world we live in, the civil liberties and all the restrictions on that, especially when you look at things like the sugar bans going on in New York right now, the cigarette bans around New York and all around the country and the world. We've constantly had to keep the script updated and make changes along the way and really revise things throughout this process to stay timely. But at the same time, it's been a balancing act of never wanting to get preachy. You know, above all else, we're here to have a good time. And we're certainly doing that in rehearsal. I think people should come see The Last Smoker in America because it will be one of the most fun evenings they will have in a long time, I can promise that. And in addition, I think it'll keep them talking for a long time after, and I think that's the part that's going to surprise them. There's a lot buried between the lines. It's about so much more than smoking, and I think people are in for a real good time and a surprise.
Watch me smile.